Welcome. Finally.
It's freezing up too, man. Look at that.
Huh? We're having all kinds of problems this morning. But hey, we are at a bar. But we are at the best bar in town.
Absolutely.
Could be the best bar in the state.
I'd put it up there.
Nation. We're nationwide, worldwide. That's good, AJ. Very good. Look at us. We're just kind of slow-mo.
Yeah.
So is our Wi-Fi connection's like really sucking.
Make the beer last longer.
Eric, turn off your phone.
Huh?
Your phone's using too much of our Wi-Fi.
I got my Wi-Fi turned off. I only turn it on when I'm home.
Oh, we don't need anybody to blame it on then, do we? God, it's hot in here.
I know I don't have mine on.
It's hot in here. Hey, hey guys, we are on the air and live finally at AJ's bar located at 651 South Main Street in historic downtown Grapevine, Texas. Huh?
I said it's 70 degrees in here.
It's hot.
It's 70 degrees in here. How can it be hot?
It's 70?
No, turn those off.
Oh, yeah. Best move. Guys, we're so glad that you're here today, and we hope that you took a moment and invited someone to come with you. A lot of you are probably having lunch, unless you're out on the West Coast, and then you're probably having brunch. But we are glad that you're here, and hope you'll share the show. It's just real easy to do. My featured guest today is Kim Mitchell. Kim Mitchell. Joseph Kim Mitchell, born July 10th, 1952, is a Canadian musician and was the lead singer and guitarist for the band Max Webster before going on a solo career. His 1984 single, Go for Soda, I love that song, charted on the US Billboard Hot 100, reaching number 86. 6 other singles, Patio Lanterns, Rock and Roll Duty, Rockland Wonderland, Expedition Sailor, America, and some folks reached the top 20 in Canada. And here, Kim Mitchell is now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Mitchell, and you're watching Barside Jive. Stick around.
Thanks, Kim. We appreciate that. Now, I don't know if you guys have figured this out yet, but here at Barside Jive, we support our police officers, our firefighters, our military, and I think it's just absolutely great what the governor in Florida has done, giving all those folks $1,000 checks, all the first responders. Did you know about that? Yeah, everybody in the state.
I'll watch this.
$1,000. He's doing a great job.
Should have given two.
You don't watch any other news but this news?
This news.
That's right, because you know where you can get fair and impartial news. What are we drinking, AJ?
A little Texas Ale Project. A little Fire Ant Funeral.
Fire Ant Funeral.
Because it's amber. Get it?
Oh.
You get it?
I get it. Fire Ant Funeral.
It is tasty.
It's tasty. It is. It's tasty. So you got your stouts and you got your ambers.
Bock. So you go stout, porter, Bock, amber, then like pilsners, lagers, kolsch.
A bunch of them.
Yeah. Just styles, different styles.
Different styles. Well, Barside Jive is sponsored by
The Zoo.
On vocal.
Legendary Zoo, guys. Sponsored by the Legendary Zoo. Oh, by the way, if you want to hear some of Kim Mitchell's songs, Go for Soda, Patio Lanterns, you can listen to The Zoo on vocal, vocalnow.com, and you will hear some of Kim Mitchell's tunes. So in addition to my guest segment, which comes a little bit later in the show, I've got unconventional news, non-traditional weather, our weird world of sports, and traffic that's sure to make you go, what the hell did I just see? Delivered with that edginess and rawness that you demand, but will not get from those corporate media activists over at the traditional one-sided, hypocritical propaganda machines working for that Communist Party. Like the great philosopher Leonard Skinner once said, gee, that smell. Some of our stuff is satire simply because you gotta laugh to keep from crying, but the big difference in us and those other guys is that we're actually entertaining. So hang on, because you don't want to miss a thing, right, AJ? Nothing. And be sure to stick around to the very end of the show, because we always stick something special at the butt end of the show just for you guys. That reminds me of a joke. So this bear goes into a bar in Billings, Montana. You know where Billings is, right? Montana? Yeah. And he sits down at the bar and orders a beer. Well, the bartender says, sorry, we don't serve beer to bears in bars and buildings. The bear slams his paw down on the bar and demands a beer. The bartender repeats, sorry, but we don't serve beer to bears in bars in Billings, Montana. The bear, now furious, looks around and sees this woman sitting at the end of the bar, so he goes over to her and just devours her. Eats her up. He turns back to the bartender and says, now can I have a beer? The bartender says, sorry, we don't serve beer to bears who are on drugs in bars in Billings, Montana. The bear looks incredulous. I mean, incredulous. Can you look incredulous? That's pretty good. I'm not on drugs, he shouts. The bartender says, well, you are now. That was a barbiturate. You get it? Barbiturate. Okay, by the way, guys, by the freaking way, instead of a totally useless fact today, I'm going to change it up a little bit, AJ, and throw out one of DC's famous life hacks. That's right. One of my famous life hacks is coming at you. This would be life hack 106. Do not fuck with the bears. It's just that simple. My inspiration for this life hack came after watching Tim Treadwell star in his 2005 American documentary film Grizzly Man. Did you see it? Based on more than 100 hours of video footage shot by Tim in Alaskan grizzly bear country. You can see the documentary on Prime, like right now. The documentary was produced by German director Werner Herzog, and not Tim Treadwell, cause Timothy was eaten by a fucking grizzly bear. Seriously, guys. Here he is reading a book, talking to the grizzlies. I agree with that. I totally agree with that one dude on there that said, I just think that they didn't know how to take him, that they thought something was wrong with him, and they just left him alone. 13 freaking years he was out there, dude. 13 freaking seasons that dude was out there. So remember, guys, bears are one of the most intelligent land animals in North America. They have the largest and one of the most complex brains there are, affording them a very high IQ. So number one, they're smart. Number two, grizzly bears possess a biting force of over 1,200 psi, guys, which is enough to crush a freaking bowling ball. Think about it. A bowling ball. Adult grizzly bears can even run up to 40 miles per hour. Now, how fast do you run?
I just got to outrun you.
Yeah, that's right. Just don't be last. So unless you want to end up on the wrong side of a gruesome movie or documentary with your half-eaten carcass exposed to everyone in the freaking world, just go to the zoo. Right? If you want to share your life hack or maybe some other worthless information, Just give us a call on the bar phone, 469-844-1631, because we know everything. Kinda. And
Except how to get this to stop doing that.
yeah, it's the Wi-Fi. It's the service. Yeah, it's a service. We should have restarted your router when we first noticed it. Anyway, knowledge is power, guys. Knowledge is power. Don't forget. By the way, if today is your birthday and you want AJ to sing to you, just give us a call on the bar phone, 469-844-1631. We'll try to locate it. And he can sing to you. He loves to sing. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel. Just search Barside Jive Live at youtube.com and click subscribe. And then click that little bitty bell to receive notifications when I post my premium content, which is free to all of you because you're premium people. Hey, it's time.
I'm trying to see if I can still find the movie.
Little shot action. It's good. And now, an important PSA from our friends over at, where, AJ? Your favorite place?
Atlanta Genital Institute.
That's right, AJ. Atlanta Genital Institute.
Your testicles and you. Take a good look. These are the unlucky ones. These unfortunate souls are suffering from ESS, enlarged scrotum syndrome. Here at the Atlanta Genital Institute, teams of doctors are at work around the clock to cure this dreaded affliction. Hi, I'm Dr. Zillman, and I'd like to talk to you about your testes. The human testicle is not unlike a balloon. Sometimes it is empty. And sometimes it is full. And sometimes, maybe this will help you understand. Just remember that your testicles, when treated with love and care, will give you years of maintenance-free service. But if abused, well, the inevitable conclusion. So next time, do the smart thing. Don't let anything come between your testicles and you. Thank you.
That always makes me want to cough. Hey, speaking of testicles, this midget that lives down in Austin, his like testicles hurt really bad and ached almost all the time. So he goes to the doctor and told the doctor about his problem. The doctor told him to drop his pants and he'd take a look. So the midget drops his pants. The doctor stood him up on the examining table and started to examine him. The doctor put one finger under his left testicle and told him to turn his head and cough. The usual check for a hernia. Aha, mumbled the doctor. And then, as he put his finger under the right testicle, he asked the midget to cough again. Aha, said the doctor once more. As he reached for his surgical scissors, snip, snip, snip on the right side, and then snip, snip, snip on the left side. The midget was so scared he was afraid to even look, but noted with amazement that the snipping did not hurt at all. The doctor then told the midget to walk around the examining room to see if his testicles still hurt. The midget was absolutely delighted as he walked around the room for the first time and no pain at all in either one. The doctor said, "Well, how does it feel now?" The midget replied, "Perfect, doc, and I didn't even feel it. What did you do?" Well, the doctor said, "I cut 2 inches off the top of your cowboy boots." Okay, so on with the show. Guys, I want you to hold your applause for a moment because, no, seriously, I need you to hold your applause I know that it's time once again for that segment with all those big ass raving reviews, but we've got to make sure that our intro is heard by all. So hold the applause. Here it is, breaking freaking news.
Whoosh! Bum 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 bum.
Our top news story straight in from the Barside Jive news desk. White liberals watch in amazement as a black man acquires an ID. Hampton Falls, Iowa. White liberals gathered in the town of Hampton Falls were shocked and astonished as a local black man, an accountant and father of three, Michael Sparkton, walked right into a DOT office and acquired an ID without any assistance from liberals whatsoever. It was amazing. He was smart and articulate enough to walk right in and acquire the ID without consulting us white people at all, said an anti-racist activist, Chloe Ryder, to reporters. He walked right in and got the ID, no questions asked. We thought it would be way above his intelligence level because, well, you know what I'm saying, right? Reporters said they did not know, and Ryder was forced to whisper, because he's black and I don't think he's capable of doing it. And shocking study finds paying people not to work makes people not want to work.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
US. A surprising new study released Friday found that paying people not to work made people not want to work. It's unbelievable. Amid shockingly low job numbers released last week, the study suggested that some of the low employment was due to the government sending everyone more money than they would have made working a job. Some smart expert analysts are seeing a connection between incentivizing people to stay home and then them actually staying home. It's really bizarre telling people to stay home and watch Netflix while we send them more money that makes people just want to stay home and watch Netflix while we send them money, said one anonymous government official. It seems that when you just send people checks, they don't really see a point going to work. Wow.
Weird they couldn't see that.
Wow. Yeah. Well, guys, our trending news item segment is brought to you by our friends over at Body Action Products. And here's AJ with a word from
Body Action Anal Bleach Gel. Body Action Anal Bleach Gel is a super concentrated intimate area.
Can you do it with a little more feeling?
Nah. Intimate area skin lightening gel.
A little more feeling.
It is formulated to help improve
Oh, shit.
the appearance of uneven skin tone and diminish discolored areas of the
A
skin.
little more feeling.
Ideal for
There you
anal,
go.
vaginal, penis, scrotum, nipples, dark underarms, and all other intimate area skin lightening.
Don't forget
needs.
those other intimate areas.
I don't know what they are.
Lightening needs.
Jeez.
For that asshole in your life that just needs to lighten the fuck up.
Hmm.
Trending nationally, AJ.
Mhm.
Trump considering the Galactic Empire Imperial March as his entrance theme during upcoming rallies, according to anonymous sources. So, you know what I want my theme to be? Our theme should be. Maybe
Like
both
Big
of
Butts.
us. No. Should be the.
I cannot lie.
No. You're close. The theme from Shaft, right? Okay. And I'll show you why. When I tell you, push this right arrow. Okay. When I tell you, right here. But I think the theme from Shaft is cool, right?
I'm good with it.
You like it?
Good.
Yeah, I think it's cool. That's our intro. Oh, we're losing control. Okay, guys. We'll continue with our trending news. AJ, wake up. Chinese rocket breaks apart, revealing inspirational fortune inside.
I had the right numbers on it too, didn't it?
Yep.
For the mega ball.
Yep. And Columbus Day reinstated after experts learn indigenous people he conquered only believed in two genders.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Two.
It's weird.
Only two. Yeah.
Which two?
Male, female. Well, guys, there you have it. I think it's time for some rock history. What do you think, AJ?
Sure.
Hey guys, it's May 10th, and here are some reasons why this day matters in rock history. 1986 is the year, and Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee married actress Heather Locklear. The ceremony took place in front of 500 guests in Santa Barbara, California. Tommy wore a white leather tuxedo. And in 1994, Weezer released their self-titled album, also known as the Blue Album. Wonder why.
Maybe it was blue. Oh,
I love that song, Say It Ain't So. You heard it?
probably not.
Off that album. Alright. Well, guys, in 1985, the Go-Go's announced they were breaking up.
What day was it?
The Go-Go's. It was back in 1985. 1985.
I wonder.
Why?
I just didn't even give a shit.
Dude, I remember I was a young policeman in Stephenville, Texas, and the Go-Go's played the Wisdom Gym there at Tarleton State University. I was working security at the concert. I had I walked them from the green room, dressing room, to the stage.
My hand or?
Yeah. So they played Wisdom Gym, and I had my little post there. And anyway, I was working the stage security, and I'm standing outside the door to their temporary dressing room, known as the girls' locker room, when the door busts open and out pours this huge cloud of smoke.
They're smoking in there.
Oh, big time. Into the whole freaking hallway. I mean, you can't even see. And the Go-Go's came out with their entourage, about 20 other groupies and whoever was with them. And they took a few steps across the hall and went right into the gym where they got on the stage. And so I'm there in this huge billowing smoke coming out of the girls' locker room. Anyway, when one of the groupies stayed behind and offered me a smoke. And so when they left, one of their handlers came up to me and gave me an autograph photo and said they thought I was cute.
Trying to make you feel better? Or?
I think so. I think so. It's a true story. It's a true story. In 2011, guys, in 2011, what happened in 2011? The Cars released Move Like This, their first album in 24 years. Guys, and that's what happened on this day in rock history, which means it's time to take a shot and move on to our next segment, which is... Welcome to year 2 of 14 days to flatten the curve. And now a special message on the COVID vaccine from the experts that know. Here you go, guys. Choosing your COVID-19 vaccine if you haven't already gotten it. Pfizer will be your first choice. $4.7 billion in fines for false claims, drug and medical equipment, safety violations, off-label promotion, corrupt practices, kickbacks, and bribery. Number 2 would be Moderna. They have never brought a vaccine to market since its founding, despite fielding 9+ vaccine candidates, none of which made it through phase 3 clinical trials. Johnson & Johnson, named in hundreds of thousands of lawsuits for toxic and or dangerous products, including drugs, shampoos, medical equipment, and asbestos-contaminated baby powder. And then your 4th choice would be AstraZeneca. suspended by 24 European countries due to severe lethal adverse reactions like blood clots. And it's actually a fact check on this post.
Hold on, DC. Hold on.
What?
You're taking all just the negative stuff they've done. You're not talking about all the good.
The glass is half empty?
Yeah.
Okay. You go ahead and share the good.
Well, I had that Moderna shot.
Oh, you had the Moderna?
Yeah.
Let's see. But well, they're looking pretty good.
Well, you know, aside from
The fact they've never brought a
getting
vaccine.
sick, I didn't get COVID, so.
Right. Good.
But I didn't get it before I got the shot either, so.
Right.
I mean, how fucking good could it be?
You don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I was okay until that third head grew out of my neck.
yeah. I thought you were going to say third testicle,
The third head,
because testicle would kind of relate to our show.
but the head's closer to my neck.
Okay.
And then, you know, it dried up and fell off. So there's no big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
And you're still alive.
The other one, the second one I've still got, but that's in a different place.
Oh, you didn't take the second one?
No. The second head. That's
Oh,
the third head dried up and
oh,
fell off.
oh.
The second head's still there.
Okay, I got you.
Megan likes it.
I bet.
It's okay.
I bet. Okay. All right. Well, you know what I thought was interesting about this is that there's a fact check here. COVID-19 vaccines go through many tests in safety and effectiveness and then are monitored closely. Source, World Health Organization.
See, when I seen that, I thought it was the band.
No.
I was like, no wonder shit's fucked up.
Yeah. No. No, dude. That's that Dr. Tedros from Ethiopia. That's what that's all about. Yeah, I don't trust those some bitches for
let's
nothing.
Go ahead and get our COVID check.
Oh, that's COVID check. Okay, here we go.
So yeah, sip it. See.
Oh, you're going too fast.
I moved past that smelling thing because you can do them both at the same time.
You gonna slurp it?
Yeah. I don't have COVID. I'm good.
Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, me either. Woo! That was stout.
So tasty.
That was tasty. Hey, let's do sport. What do you say?
All right.
Oh, AJ, but first we stand for our national anthem. We have the highlights from Holiday Lakes Bowling Alley at the Regional Bowling Finals in progress. Here's some of the finalists in action. Bust a move. Okay. And just when you thought you'd seen everything. Oh me. And now a word from one of our favorite sponsors, Fog Hat Cellars.
IDC, thanks for having us on your show. And for you folks, I'm Roger of the band Foghat, and these are our wines. Foghat Cellars. This is a Chardonnay from Monterey County, absolutely delicious, 2014. We have 2013 Pinot Noir from Monterey County. It's absolutely fabulous, a wonderful drinking wine. If you like Pinots, you'll love it. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon from Paso Robles. All our wines come from Central Coast of California. Steve Rasmussen is our winemaker, though in fact myself and Linda actually get involved in the making of some of our wines. Drink, enjoy, go to foghatcellars.com to find out how to get them. Thanks, bye.
Alright, don't forget to use your coupon code Barside Jive at your checkout screen for a 20% discount off your purchase. Also, you can even get the bottle autographed by the drummer, Roger Earl, the only remaining member of the classic lineup for Foghat.
Man, that was awesome, AJ. That was freaking awesome, dude.
That's what I do, baby. That's what I do.
We should do a shot. That was so good.
That's what I normally do.
Oh, you know what? It's time for that old nasty weather. I did for another 30 minutes.
I had to get my kid to school, so.
From your Barside Jive Global Weather Center, where we try to stick to the current weather since forecasts are always so wrong, including our own. Here we go, AJ. Local AJ's weather is currently overcast.
Overcast and shitty.
61 degrees. Today's high is, I think we're there. Yeah, I think we're at the high now, 61. With a 30% chance of rain. No, I think it's now 80%. Went from 30 to 80 3 hours. When those guys are always so freaking accurate. Air quality is moderate. Winds out of the north at 14 miles per hour. Humidity is it's a high 83.
Pretty moist.
Ooh, pretty moist out there, guys. Extra deodorant.
And the moon phase is in the waning crescent.
It's not the shit cisglatinus anymore.
It's the waning crescent.
Hey, AJ, the sun's going to set at 8:17. You won't know it because of the clouds. But still, 8:17. Dude, we got a long day. Isn't it awesome? What was that moon phase? Did it say what it meant? I still want to know what that means.
Waning crescent.
Waning crescent.
But tomorrow, it'll be...
shit says gladimus.
It'll be the new phase.
The nude phase.
Yeah.
The nude?
Nude?
Nude, like no clothes?
No, nude.
Oh, nude. Like brand new. Brand spanking new.
So I guess this moon phase is about how much is showing.
How much is showing?
Of the moon.
So you could have a nude phase.
Yeah. Because like the UV index is 4 moderate right now.
Whatever. I don't know who would even like care about that.
Why?
You know who I think cares besides you?
The guy that sells this fucking sunscreen.
Yeah, and Habib. Because Habib is on location in Karachi where they're experiencing some nice 60 to 70 degree temperatures, AJ. So let's ask Habib. Habib, how's it going out there? You want to ask him?
Tell me about how shitty Karachi is. Karachi, whatever. It is a shithole.
अबे गायें आ रही है भागती हुई.
Looks like we're having some audio problems. There's nothing unusual about that.
It's all fucking dirt.
Yeah.
Trash and shit. Oh god.
कि हमें ना घुस
You
जाए
got a
आगे
runaway. Got a runaway cow. Got a runaway attack cow. He found him a target. Oh well, we lost our transmission with old Habib out in Karachi, but
I hate that cow.
yeah. They've got not only audio problems, but they got some serious attack cows out there. Oh, speaking of cows, AJ, I'm reminded of a story. I know you're surprised. So, a baby cow walks into a bar.
Mm-hmm.
The bartender refuses to serve him.
Because he's a baby?
Insulted, he says, "Fine, I'll drink some other place."
That's pretty good.
Here, I'm sure glad I didn't butcher that one up.
Yeah, you did a good job on that.
Thank you. Oh, guys, and by the way, that's your global weather from your Barside Jive meteorologist, kinda, at Barside Jive. Our weather has been brought to you by our friends over at Carl's freaking Jr.
I love going all natural. It just makes me feel better. Nothing between me and my 100% all natural, juicy, grass-fed beef.
Introducing the All Natural Burger, the first ever in fast food, with no antibiotics, no added hormones, and no steroids. Only at Carl's Jr.
You should have a burger here.
If I had a burger, then I wouldn't eat them anymore.
Oh,
That's why I don't have ham on the menu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 'cause I would eat ham every day until I wouldn't eat it anymore.
Oh, you don't want to ruin it. Yeah.
No ham. No
Hey.
hamburgers.
Would you check see what traffic's doing out there?
Beep, 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 yeah. Beep, 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 yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're at a standstill out there.
Okay, it's moving now. It's moving.
Okay, it's moving. Okay.
Other side happens to start. Oh, now there you go.
It's what I call a quick peek at traffic.
Wide open.
Wide open now. Well, it may be fine right now here on Main Street in historic downtown Grapevine, Texas, but let's go to Uderslev Mose, just outside of Odense, Denmark, hometown of writer Hans Christian Andersen, with a medieval core of cobbled streets and half-timbered houses, which of course you can't see because of all of the dang snow. So, Uderslev, what are the road conditions like on E20 west of town?
Ejeren af bilen her bag mig næste gang overvejer I... Ej, shit. Okay.
Dude, that was his personal car. That was his private vehicle. Oh, those poor contract labor guys. Anyway, that reminds me of a joke.
Alright.
I'm already laughing. You know, so this dude is learning to drive in the winter, and his dad told him, like all dads, you know, tell us things to be aware of. If you're ever lost in the snow, wait for the plow truck to come by and then just follow it. Makes sense, right? One cold, snowy Minnesota night, this dude totally got lost on his way home. The snow was blowing so fast. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
You having a heart attack? Okay. The snow was blowing so fast and piling up so high he couldn't see any street signs. With no map in his car and a dead cell phone, he thought he might be stranded, so he pulled over to the side of the road. Then, breaking through the flurries, he saw the headlights of a plow truck in his rearview mirror. Thinking his lucky stars, he turned in and followed the truck, hopeful that it would lead him back somewhere he recognized. He followed the truck for what felt like hours. The truck turned left, the dude would turn left, the truck would swing right, the dude would turn right, always on his tail. After a while, the dude saw brake lights from the plow followed by four-way flashers. The plow had stopped, and the dude saw the driver get out and approach his car. The dude rolled down the window to talk to him. He said, "Why are you following me, kid?" The plow driver asked him. Well, sir, my dad told me if I was ever lost in a snowstorm, I should wait for a plow truck and then I should follow it. Well, said the plow driver, I just finished clearing the lot at Target. You want to follow me over to Best Buy?
You know, when my dad was teaching me how to drive,
Yeah.
this was one of them.
Oh,
Push the
yeah.
clutch all the way in.
You're good at that one. Push it all the way in. Yeah, he didn't like
Push
that.
it all the way in.
He didn't like that grinding noise.
No.
He used to
He frowned
bash
upon
you in
it.
the back of the head.
He frowned upon
That's where
it.
you got that.
Yeah.
He frowned upon it. Gosh, I remember when your dad passed. It hasn't been that long ago, has it? 4 years?
2018. So
3 years?
3 years, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. He's a good guy.
Good old dude, yeah.
All right, let's drink to your dad.
Here's the art.
Art, thinking about you. You're in a better place than us, but
Oh, I thought we were just drinking.
okay, drink. Guys, that'll bring us up to our featured guest segment, which is sponsored by Hip and Hippie. Hip and Hippie is a planet-loving company known for its high-quality, earth-friendly, 100% recyclable candle line and natural body care products. That's what keeps AJ and I looking so good. It's no wonder eco-supporting people love Hip and Hippie. hipandhippie.com. As I mentioned earlier, guys, my featured guest is Kim Mitchell, best known as a Canadian musician and the lead singer and guitarist for the band Max Webster before going on to a successful solo career. Well, I will be right back with Kim Mitchell after this quick break. Hey, you want to go for a soda?
No.
Okay. We'll say yeah.
as well go for a soda. Nobody hurts and nobody cries. Might as well go for a soda. Nobody drowns and nobody dies.
Guys, welcome back to Barside Jive. It is time for me to introduce my guest, Canadian songwriter and musician Kim Mitchell. His 1984 single Go for Soda charted on the US Billboard Hot 100, reaching number 86, and was one of my personal favorite songs of the early 80s. 6 other of his singles reached the top 20 in Canada. Kim, it is a real pleasure having you here today.
AC, nice to be here with you, man. Thank you.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
How are things in Texas?
We're open. We're open for business.
No, did you get snow down where you were? I know there was a big snowstorm.
I did. You know, I'm in the northern part of the state, and it really didn't matter because even San Antonio and Houston got hit. But yeah, I had no electricity for 2 days. I had rolling blackouts for 2 days when it came on, which meant an hour on, 90 minutes off, an hour on, 90 minutes off for 2 days, and then no water for 2 days.
Wow.
And then when the water came on, we had to boil your drinking water, which I didn't have to worry about because I drink bottled water. So I had plenty in the garage. So I was okay there. They warned us not even to take a shower. So.
Oh, really? Really? What was going on there? They just the water treatment plants weren't, or water filtration wasn't working?
Because of the power.
Ah, right. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
You know, Texas, they like to be independent.
Yep.
And they're not part of the national grid. And I'm cool with independence.
Sure. Yeah, man.
But apparently the people in charge, I think it was a little bit about greed.
Well, it just, as a Canadian who deals with this all the time, it just sounds like the infrastructure wasn't ready for what happened. That's all. I mean, not to make light of it all, but that happens to us up here, and we're in Canada where we get snow every winter.
Yeah.
We'll have blackouts. I remember the one year we had a massive blackout, like for a couple of weeks in my neighborhood, and people were going without power and without heat. So it was getting iffy. So we have the same sort of issues, man, and we're dealing with it every year. So
right. The really good thing for me was I've got a fireplace and plenty of firewood.
Yeah, man.
So I was able to stay warm. My folks were able to do the same. So
cool.
Those fireplaces come in handy.
Yeah,
in Texas.
You're talking to somebody who has 2 in his house. So
really, wow. 2.
Yeah. Well, you have to, right?
Yeah, right.
You know what's going to go down.
Weather as you get.
And I live in I'm an urban setting. I live in Toronto, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sort of the west end of Toronto. Yeah, it's nice out here.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful country.
Thank you. Have you been?
No. But I've been close.
That was good.
I've spent some time in Seattle.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah,
so that's almost Canada.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's beautiful up in Seattle.
I've spent some time in Washington State. It's close enough.
That just when you mentioned Seattle, it reminded me of a story. One of our first Rush tours that we opened up for Rush, and it was a leg that started in Canada and then dropped down at Seattle, and we started to go all through the States. I always remember in Canada, we're crossing, we're playing these shows, and Rush were great already. They were fantastic, but man, when we got to sound check in Seattle, it was just a different game. They just stepped it up. Like everybody in Max Webster at the time, we all looked at each other and went, "What's going on here? Like this is almost like a different band doing the sound check." Like they were really, really narrowing it down and just plowing and just sounding great. And it was almost like, okay, well, it's almost like I got this feeling like, yeah, bands come here to warm up, to work out everything. Right. It's like, yeah, where's the tour starting? You're having a world tour. Oh, we're going to start in Canada, go through some Canadian cities. I don't know if that's true, but it seems to be, there's another band starting their tour in Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, it was neat though. Then it was a great time. We came down to Texas. We were going all through Texas, El Paso and Lubbock and San Antonio and Houston. You're in Dallas, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think we did
Yeah.
Dallas. Yeah, we spent a lot of time down there.
Yeah. Kim, you've been blessed with a lengthy career and you've seen some success. And looking back over all those years, what first comes to your mind?
Just the 2 hours or the hour or the 30 minutes you get on stage. That's the first thing that comes to mind, that I got to play guitar. It's just something I wanted to do, not even sing or write songs. It's just that aside, which I ended up doing, just the fact that I got to play guitar. And what I love about what I've done is I think I speak probably for a lot of musicians, DC, is that our gig is I call it, take an audience to Rockland Wonderland. That's the name of one of my albums.
Right. It's great.
And so, just sort of whatever's going on in your life, good or bad, we're going to try and deviate you out of that and just make you feel good through music. And that to me, because I got into a conversation with a doctor once, and I'm like looking on all his plaques on the wall and everything. I'm like, holy smokes, man, you've like really done a lot of work. Like this is amazing what you've done. He goes, don't ever discount what you've done in your life. He says, he says, I've healed a lot of people, thousands, in fact. He says, but you've played for millions and turned on audiences, huge audiences. So don't ever discount what you've brought to the world. And I think that's what we're all here to do, bring something to the planet or humankind, as you do. That's what you do too. So we're all hopefully here to get something going. And does that make any sense?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
I totally agree. Like I told you before, when Go for Soda came out, dude, I still feel the same way today when I hear it on the radio. I still get the same thing. I love that song. It's like, turn that up.
Yeah, me too. I wish we had mixed it a little different.
Oh man.
As an artist, you can always look back and go, man, I would have changed that a little bit.
Dude,
That was a strange recording session because I could only do the intro on a guitar with this out of phase sound because there was radio towers around, and anytime I got into a different setting on the guitar, it was like all this hum and buzz, and they're like, I said, what's going on around this place? He said, well, it's radio towers that are broadcasting. Like, and there's a recording studio here. And so I got that little intro done, and then I had to switch guitars to a quieter guitar, which was not a Fender style guitar. So.
Right. Oh, okay. What's the backstory on that song?
He worked with a dude named Pye Dubois, who I grew up with in a small little southern Ontario town. It was about 40 minutes from Detroit. So was raised on Motown music and Detroit rock and roll, which, I opened up for the MC5 as a kid,
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I said that to little Steven once, and he looks at me and goes, man, your cred just went up.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people open up for the MC5. But this guy, Pye Dubois, he was a writer and used to jam with the English language. And I took off to Greece and lived on a Greek island for a while, and he was going to tour all through Turkey and stuff like that. So we started writing in Greece. He just said, I'm just going to come and visit you for a couple of days, and then I'm moving on. And we wrote a little country tune there. And then when we got back to Toronto, I said, you want to try doing some writing? So yeah, we started writing the first Max Webster album and did all that stuff. But then Go for Soda, I always remember we were at a party one night, and we'd hang out together. And he looks at me and goes, this is kind of, there's a lot of people. It's like, but we sort of had enough. It's like, hey man, this is kind of getting to me. Do you want to go? And I said, yeah. He says, let's Go for Soda. Nobody hurts, nobody cries. And I was like, write that down. And literally there's like a little table full of food with napkins. He grabs a napkin. He goes, oh man. He says, I can do a million of them. Nobody hurts, nobody cries, nobody drowns, nobody dies. It's better than slander. He started writing all these down. I was like, wow, this is great. So from there, just came up with the riff and started to write the music when he got a little verse section together and stuff like that.
So he wrote the lyrics, you wrote the music.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
With most of my career, a long time ago, DC, I read a thing. I'm a Cancerian. I was born in July, and in a marriage breakup, I was looking at these self-help books in the stores all the time, right? Like, what's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? It's like, oh, you're not good with this sign, which was my ex-wife's sign. It's like, it's like, that kind of stuff. But I always remember reading a couple times, Cancerians, you'll never make great poets. So I just went, okay, I'm a musician, lyric writing. I'm just going to get somebody else to do it.
Okay, cool. Hey, just a side note, I'm laughing because, dude, I've read all those same books. I've been through it twice.
Oh, have you really? You win.
Yeah.
You win.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's why I'm laughing, not at you. I'm laughing at me because I've been into those books.
Sure.
Seen those counselors.
Yeah,
But,
I've done the counseling thing too, man. I'm a consumer of therapy.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on. I spent a lot of money on that crap. Oh shoot! Yeah,
that was the best statement. I've spent a lot of money on that crap. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that from now on.
I might as well spend it on drugs for all the good it did. Except I had one counselor one time that said, "Dude, you need to get a divorce."
Yeah.
I'm serious. And I said, thank God. I said, you're the first counselor I've ever talked to that actually was honest.
Sure.
He said, you guys need a divorce. This is not good. I was like, I'm with you. I've been telling her that for a year.
Yeah. For some of us, it's the hardest thing we do, eh?
What?
That was an American thing. I just said, I said the word "a," which is what we say in Canada. And then you went, huh? I said, okay, there was Canada. There was America.
I think huh is just Texas. I don't know if it's American.
Okay. I'll have to apologize next. Okay.
No. Tell me about your family growing up. What, you have siblings?
I had a sister. She was a nurse. She was 5 years older than me. My father was a pipe fitter, worked in oil refineries down in as I say, Sarnia, Ontario. And we grew up, I was influenced by Detroit radio, Detroit television. That's what was going on because we were 40 minutes from Detroit. My mother was in a small little musical band with her brother and her sister. They were called Two Bees and a Honey. And wow. I never heard it, or I never she never played anything in front of me. She just told me that, I was in a little singing group. We were called Two Bees and a Honey with my brother and my sister. And I just sort of got the bug playing as a young kid on my father's lap watching Elvis Presley on Ed Sullivan. Now that's dating me, I know, but I was a little kid. I was like a little wee kid, way too young to play guitar, but they got me a guitar, and at that age, you're just smashing on something. You have no idea what you're doing. It's probably not even in tune. I used to do it so much that my mother threw it down the stairs and broke it. And they saw how upset I was. So many years later, they went, do you still want to play guitar? Because I wouldn't shut up about it. So I think around 11 years old, they bought me a real guitar, got me a teacher. And I was learning stuff like, on top of Old Smoky, stuff like that. It was pretty brutal. I was kind of bored with the lessons. And one day, you're waiting in the waiting room of your guitar teacher, and out comes this dude. His collar's up, and he's got slicked hair, and he's got like a Fender guitar. And I'm like, whoa, man, that's cool. And I heard him playing stuff like kind of rock and roll stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. And from there, it keeps rolling, right?
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix comes along. I started playing in bands at around 13 years old. I was in bands, playing in high school bands when I was 15. Like, I was still in elementary school, but the dudes I was playing with were all in high school. So I'd be in elementary school with my kind of dressed up in stage stuff, and they kind of make fun of me. The teachers make fun of me. I'm like, hey, I'm going to make, $75 later.
Yeah.
My friends are going to play tag. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. People just don't realize, even adults, their actions sometimes.
Sure.
can be
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
can
yeah.
be so harmful, to a young
Yeah.
kid.
Well, yeah, you're right, man. It's a moment in my life that I do remember that wasn't a pleasant one. I mean, my childhood was fine. We always had food on the table, clothes on my back, and my dad was a good guy. My mom was great, and she would let me stay home and practice guitar, and to say, "Don't tell your dad," So
Really?
I'd stay home and play all the time, but yeah, there's good teachers, and there's going to be the ones that are, I do remember that moment. It's like, oh, what are you doing dressed up like that? And you've got, what is that? You're wearing like some kind of aftershave or something?
Yeah.
And then I got my first girlfriend was a cheerleader that all the football players in high school wanted. So you see, musicians are cooler.
That's right. That's right. Wow. Well, and then the teachers, I mean, the kids pick up on that a lot of times, and then they can be more brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, if you're dating the cheerleader, I guess they're not.
No, man, they were just
were
walking
cool.
in. I was.
You were cool. Yeah.
I'm on stage playing rock and roll, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Was music always your thing, or were like you involved in other activities?
No, I got hit with it really early.
Okay.
And that's been it. It's been my career, thankfully. I've been so lucky my whole life. Guys my age are really had in their third career sometimes, right? They've gone through all kinds of different things, and somehow audiences have kept coming to my shows here in Canada. And I've, carved out an okay living.
Yeah.
I'm not by any means an international, on that level. But it's okay. Every summer, I get to, get on a plane and go to these Canadian cities and rock out, and people keep coming out to hear Go for Soda and Lager and Ale and all those.
Dude, you're an icon. So,
oh,
hey, tell me about Max Webster. That wasn't your first band, was it?
It was the first touring band, the first serious professional band. It was a band I started when I moved back from the Isle of Rhodes in Greece. I was on Greece backing up a Greek Tom Jones. I didn't tell him that he wasn't Tom Jones ever, because he's paying me okay, and it's on a Greek island, and I'm having a blast. So it's like, yeah, man, you're just like him. It's great.
But in reality,
no, it was okay. He was actually very entertaining. It was a beautiful show for the tourists coming in, because the Greek show would come on later. But anyway, I come back to study guitar lessons in Toronto, and I have to do something too. So I started a band with a dude who lived in Windsor, Ontario, which is even closer to Detroit. It's right across the river from Detroit. And we started a band, and we called it Max Webster because I wanted a band sort of like Jethro Tull, or, like a name, but not anyone in the band. So
right.
He sort of suggested Max Webster because he was in a band with Daryl Sturmer, who ended up playing with Phil Collins all the time. And they did a song called Song for Webster, and the band was called Family at Max. And they started in Milwaukee, actually. So that's how that whole name thing started. And we were a working band, man. We played 7 days a week, all the time. And when we weren't playing, we'd haul our gear into the house and rehearse. So it was a beautiful time. The band was doing this pretty quick, and audiences were growing and growing and growing, and finally got a record deal and started. I think we did a couple tours across Canada ourselves, and then Rush, who was on the same label, same management, they said, "You want to open up for Rush going across Canada?" And we're like, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, actually, they're going into the States. You want to do that?" And so.
Are you kidding? Yeah, we want to do it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Well, yeah. we played on Top of the Pops too. You know what Top of the Pops is?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a show out of England. And that was a funny story. It's like one of those "are you kidding" moments. We're in a pub because you have to supply Top of the Pops with British masters, meaning we're going to do a song called Paradise Skies, but we have to re-record it in England because you have to have British masters. We can't just hand them a mix and you sing, or do you sing? Yeah, you sing, but you don't play. So they said we're at a pub and they go, "Oh, okay, we'll find a studio." And they're like, guy comes back and he goes, "You know, we have to do this tonight, right?" I'm like, yeah, we got to deliver the tapes tomorrow, and then we tape tomorrow afternoon. He goes, "Well, the only studio that's available is Studio 2 at Abbey Road. Would you guys be opposed to that?" And we're like, "Studio 2 at Abbey Road? What?" Yeah, man, let's go. You know?
Wow.
So that was one of those moments. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
And there we were, grew up with the Beatles music, and here we are in their space where it all happened, man.
Yeah, in the domain.
Yeah.
Wow, that is cool.
It was a fun story, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I've listened to some of that music, and you guys were kind of had this prog vibe going on, right?
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit. I was taking lessons at the time, so things would get a little more complex than just the root 4 or 5, rock and stuff. I wanted to stretch it into other stuff as a songwriter, and that's all that was really happening. And people seem to be taking to it. Sometimes we had a few bombs, opening up at the Agora Ballroom in Chicago. Didn't go so well in front of Rush,
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Joe Louis Arena. Is it Joe Louis Arena in Detroit? That was, Joe Louis Arena? Joe Louis Arena.
Joe Louis, yeah. I think.
Joe Louis, yeah. We were the first rock band, Max Webster, to open up there. That place had just opened, and we were one of the first concerts, and was the first rock show, and we were the opening act. So we were the first ones there. But I remember standing on stage and like, bang, it's getting hit with something, man. When the lights would go in between songs, like bang, something off my guitar, and then bang off my face. And then this happened 4 or 5 times. I looked down and there's bullets. There was somebody throwing bullets at us. So, which is weird when you think like you're at home. Okay, you got the tickets? Yeah. Okay, you got bus fare? Yeah. Have you got the bullets to throw at the opening act? Yeah. Okay.
Gosh. Wonder what caliber they were. Hopefully small.
I don't know. I can't. No, they were pretty small. Yeah. But a couple beamed me on the head, and
really,
yeah. And I mean, I got a million stories, man. It's just so fun, and it's how terrifying. We played Leeds live at Leeds. Were the Who?
Oh yeah,
at Leeds. So we played Leeds with Black Sabbath, and man, we're just frostbitten Canadian kids, and this place looked like a. Should I stop, or am I just blabbling?
No, what did I tell you in the beginning?
Okay.
I said,
okay,
elaborate.
So this place looked like an underground parking lot, like lots of dust, and it wasn't lit well. The ceiling wasn't really high, and it was just really dirty, but this is where the show was going on. I remember the doors opening up and standing kind of on the stage with the drum kit. And all of a sudden the doors almost like, and I just became terrified because it was the scariest audience I'd ever seen in my life. I've barely seen a leather jacket, let alone like spikes and stuff going on. And I went back in the dressing room and told them, I said, man, we're going to die out there, man. Like they're going to kill us. It's like, that is the scariest bunch. I wanted to crawl up in the fetal position and just start to cry at that moment. But we went out, we did our thing, man. And it ended up being pretty cool. And later on, Black Sabbath, they were recording in Toronto, and they invited us in for a playback. I remember we were doing some overdubs, and I think it's Tony Iommi. Actually, Tony Iommi came in and said, "Hey, we just cut a track. Do you want to come in and hear it?" And they just cranked it right up. And Ozzy's dad, I think, was sick at the time, so he was kind of just in the TV lounge and stuff like that. But I'm like sitting there surreal, like I'm listening to a Black Sabbath song that isn't out yet. It was pretty cool. Some neat stuff happened.
Kim, like when you did that show with Rush and it kind of went south and they were throwing the bullets at you, after the show, did Rush, any of those guys come over and go, we got to fix this?
Yeah, we're going to fix it. We're going to kick you off the tour. No, those guys were so good to us, man. It's the equivalent. It was the equivalent of, I guess, for your listeners possibly who land a job somewhere and all of a sudden you have the most amazing boss and the most amazing work environment.
Yeah.
It was so great, man. They invited us to all the crew meals. They fed us. Some nights they go, hey, do you want to come on the bus with us? It was a short drive. So we'd hang on the tour bus with them make our crew drive the crappy old van that we had with our gear in it. And they were so cool to us, and they'd play pranks on us. We'd be on stage, and one night we came back and we opened up our dressing room door, and it's just like dry ice. You can't see anything. It's just like smoke. And we get in there and it's all just kind of cleared out. I mean, you have to have fun on the road, and they would do that with us, and it was kind of cool. It was lovely. And what they taught me most of all, Rush, was that it's your life and it's your music. You don't have to listen to record companies. Don't listen to managers. I mean, you can listen to that stuff if you trust somebody's opinion, but it's your thing, man. Like, put your nose to the ground. It was all their decisions were made by those three guys.
Right.
And
wow.
I thought that's so cool, because so many times artists and musicians get into this thing where they feel that they're working almost for the record company and for their manager. Oh, well, I guess we shouldn't do that because we need to sell this. And they were like, no, like we were touring with them when they went through their whole third album stuff, where there's like, oh no, the label, what was that? Caress of Steel. Was that their third record? That didn't do so well. And they thought, boy, this is over. And then they put their noses to the grindstone and it just went, no, if we go down, we're going down on our own terms.
Yeah.
And they used to watch us play Battle Scar every night, which was a Max Webster tune. And that's the song that they ended up recording with us.
Right. How cool is that?
Well, do you know that tune at all? Or
yeah.
were you aware that? Yeah, Battle Scar, yeah. So, yeah, they just said, come on, man, if you ever record that tune, we want to do it. And Neil used to play with us every night. His drums were scrimmed, and on stage, because he used to love to warm up. So he said, would you guys mind if I played along with your set? We're like, no. So on stage, we're hearing two drummers. It's like Neil back there blasting away with our drummer, and our drummer was cool with it. He was like, man, I love this. This is just so much fun. And Neil would follow basically almost everything that our drummer did anyway. He kind of knew the show. But none of the fans ever knew that he'd slip up behind his drum kit, because it wasn't coming out the PA, right?
Right. Wow, that is really cool.
Yeah,
you guys had a great relationship.
Yeah, it's fun.
Though, any of those guys, are they still friends? Do you still talk to them?
Not a whole lot. They went on. I mean, no. I saw Alex 2 Christmases ago. We were on stage together, actually doing Battle Scar for a benefit here in Toronto, and that's the last time I saw him. I saw them when I was flying to Los Angeles. I did a record called The Big Fantasize last year. Yeah, and I was on a plane going to Los Angeles to do that, and Alex and Ged were on the plane in first class, and I'm right behind them, and I think Neil was sick at that time, because I think Neil must have been sick, because they were pretty quiet as to why they were going. Oh, we're going to see Neil, going to visit Neil. And oh, okay, you going to tour and stuff? They weren't really that chatty, and understandably so, because that was probably going down. That he was sick at the time.
Right. Your debut album after Max Webster, Akimbo, a logo.
Yeah, Akimbo.
What the hell does that mean?
It's a stance. Standing akimbo is standing like this. Like, you can't see, but your legs are apart. You're standing. That's standing akimbo. That's so it was kind of play on my name, and it's a logo, and akimbo a logo.
Is that it?
That's it, man.
Is that the only explanation I'm going to get?
Sorry, it's not more. It's not deeper than that. It's just a stance, a Kimbo logo. So it was a Kimbo, and it was our logo.
Where does a Kimbo come from?
I'm not sure. It's a stance. I'm standing akimbo. You could probably look it up on the internet.
I did, and I couldn't find anything.
Oh, you couldn't? Oh. Well, someone lied to me then.
Well, now I put in akimbo, a logo. I should have put in just akimbo. Maybe I would have.
Standing akimbo, maybe.
Yeah. Is that a martial arts thing, or?
Yeah, I don't know. I never gave a crap about what it meant. I just
well, Kim, if you don't know, no one else is gonna know for sure.
Album title? Yeah, sure, that'll do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. I gotta get back recording. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Show me the artwork when it's done.
And that's exactly how it happens.
Pretty much.
It's funny when you ask them, well, where did the name for that album come from? They're like, your guess is as good as ours.
Sure,
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
We passed the street side and it sounded good.
Sure. Well, you know, part of the creative process is listening and looking to what people say.
Yeah.
And I used to ask Pye, the lyricist who wrote that stuff, I said, where do you find some of this stuff, man? He says, I listen to people. People say this stuff.
Yeah. You are watching Barside Jive with my guest, Canadian singer, songwriter, and musician, Kim Mitchell. All right, Kim. So in 2004, you got into radio broadcasting. That's quite a transition. How did that happen?
You just teed up again, didn't you?
Yes.
I know that technique. I am with so-and-so because I interviewed a lot of people too. I just wanted to do something on a Sunday night. Kind of touring was in Canada. You can get it done pretty quick. And I just thought, I'm sitting around a bit. I'll try a radio show, and went to the classic rock station here in Toronto. And they were thought, oh, this is a great idea. I mean, we play your stuff and it'd be a great fit. And then I didn't hear from them for months. So I kind of almost forgot about it because I thought a Sunday night radio show and all the people are coming back from their cottages and stuff like that. I play some of these places. And then they called and went, our afternoon drive guy is leaving, which is code for we've asked him to leave.
Yeah, he got fired.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Then I was like, oh, he's leaving. Oh, okay. Yeah. And they said, would you like a full-time job? I'm like, what? I said, does that mean I have to come in every day? And they're like, yeah, sure. So it was an 11-year career that,
wow.
Man, I had fun, and I really, really learned to respect the craft. Because I sucked in the beginning. I had no training. Most people in radio go to, college to learn some of the formatics of all that. I knew nothing, and man, people hated me for months. They're just like, you suck, you has-been. Get off the air. There was one guy who used to write in. His email address was I hate Kim Mitchell. And I mean. Well, you get thick skin pretty quick in radio. I mean, I've been on stage and I've had the odd bird flipped at me, and I've had a few bullets thrown at me, and I've had people boo and stuff like that. But man, in radio, behind the keyboard, they can be brutal.
Yeah.
But you learn that really, man, it says more about them than about you. I feel bad. Someone's like, man, I wish your life was better that you didn't have to do this. But it was a fun radio career, and got to speak with a lot of different musicians. And they'd get kind of hip real quick that I was a musician because I wouldn't ask the same questions like, so who were your influences?
Right.
So what can we expect from the show?
Right.
I'd be like, hey man, who's always late? Who's always late? You're 6 o'clock in the morning, you're in the van, you got to drive to the airport. Who's the road manager calling? Hey, come on, everybody's waiting. Let's go.
Right.
Stuff like that.
What was your best question?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, if I may say, there was a few.
Well, tell me what they are.
Well, I like that. What I'd always like to try and take my listeners backstage a little bit. So I'd be like, okay, it's 15 minutes before you're going on stage. What's going on in your dressing room right now? Who's there? What's the atmosphere? Is it quiet? Are you guys talking a lot? Are you playing your instruments? So that would sort of get them talking.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh yeah, well, this is going on, that's going on. And then it'd be stuff like, okay, it's after the show. Do you head straight for the catering table? What's on it? What do you eat? Do you not eat? What do you do? What's going on 15 minutes after? Is anybody allowed in the dressing room after the show? How long after the show? Is it 20 minutes? Is it 30 minutes? Do you go out after? Like, it's just stuff like that. Stuff that the audience, rather than the usual, so what can we expect from the show? Who are your influences? People don't care who an artist influence. If he's wearing a hat and he's playing a Stratocaster and sounds like Stevie Ray Vaughan, chances are he was influenced by Stevie Ray Vaughan. The audience knows this stuff already.
Right.
So there's questions that when I started getting asked that, I started to sort of have fun with them.
You started what?
Well, people be like, so who are your influences? Be like, people don't care who my influences are. And then it's be like, excuse me? I'm like, no, they don't care. And I sort of bust their chops a little bit.
Right.
After you've been in podcasts, like, come on, give me something,
Right.
What you're doing, you're doing a great job, man. So you know that though. You must have been doing this a while. So
from you, that's I'm flattered.
Well, thank you.
Coming from you.
And you mentioned something as before this started, the most of the people you've interviewed have been so very cool with you. And do you find that the bigger they are, that the more down to earth they are in a lot of cases? That they know what they're there to do. They're just being a person. They've had an unusual life. But I always found that interviewing people that sort of the big stars were the big ones were sort of the coolest.
Mm-hmm.
And, one day a tribute band came in, a Led Zeppelin tribute band. And I said, hey man, you want the singer? I said, do you want to sing something? He's like, no, we don't sing on Tuesdays. We take that day off because blah, 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 blah. And he goes, if you were a singer, you would know, that it's a strain on the voice, doing all this stuff. And my producer gets on the microphone. He goes, he would once in a while. He goes, well, actually, he is a singer and he sings his own material.
Yeah.
Other people were so cool, man.
Oh, who was your favorite interview?
There was a lot, man. Alice Cooper was always wonderful. Little Steven was great. Sammy Hagar, he was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just full on. He played, he came in, I handed him a guitar and we'd jam out a little bit. It's really good stuff. Actually, why am I blanking on his name? You can edit this out. Guitarist, Fleetwood Mac.
Hang on. Oh my gosh.
We're both doing it.
I'm glad we're not live. I would be so freaking embarrassed right now.
But this is good. This is real though.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm totally
Lindsey Buckingham.
Yes.
Right.
Dude,
or is that the girl?
Huh?
Or is that the girl? No, that's Kristen McPhee.
No, that's not Kristen. No, she's on keys.
Yeah. Okay, Lindsey Buckingham.
Yeah.
The record company's like, you got one tune. And then, but I always loved the way he played Big Love.
Yes.
The finger picking. So he's promoting a new record. We play the thing. And then on the air, I turned to him, I go, we're going to go to a commercial break. Really appreciate you coming back. I said, if you can stick around, I said, your finger picking on Big Love is one of the most mind-blowing moments in popular music. I said, would you want to show me how you do that or play a little bit of it, like 30 seconds? He goes, yeah, okay. And I'm like, we go to commercial break, and he gets up and he starts yelling at his handlers. I said I was only doing one tune. Who's this guy think he is? Blah, 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 blah. So we come back, and I said, and he sat there, and I said, you don't have to do anything. It's okay. Like, you're Lindsey Buckingham. You can tell the radio announcer, like, no, I'm not doing that. He goes, no. And he plugs in the acoustic guitar like, and he's literally like at my face, and he's like, it was the most angry version of that song I had ever heard in my life. It was so, my hairs were standing up. It was like, it wasn't just ding or this group. It was like, and he sang the whole thing, man. I was just like, wow, what's happening here? A foot and a half in front of me. But he hated me the whole time. There was hate in his eyes.
Wow.
And then Andy Summers of the Police, I remember the people coming in going, don't ask him to play. He doesn't play. We know you have guitars on the wall, and we know you like to have people play, but don't ask him. He's coming in to talk. I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, I had dialed up a classic Andy Summers Police guitar sound just on the guitar sitting there. And we're talking away, and he can start to sense that I'm a musician. I went, hey, man, what are the voicings you do on every breath you take? And I said, are they like this? And I picked up the guitar and I went, is it like this? And he heard the guitar. It was all like chorusy and delays, all this stuff. He goes, oh, man, he says, that sounds good. He says, but that's not it. You play it like this. And I look over the people, this record company people, and they're like, Jesus, man. We're going to catch shit for this after.
He volunteered.
He did. Free guitar lesson.
Kim, we've been going an hour.
Okay, that's fine. I'm sorry I got off track.
No. Can we schedule another hour in a week or so?
Sure, man. Yeah. Listen, you don't have to, man. I'm sorry I blabbed on.
No.
You said I could, though.
No, this is beautiful. And this is what I love. And if I can get another hour with you, I would love it. Can we do it in a week or two?
Yeah, man. Just send me an email. I'll look up.
I'll shoot you an email. Hey, I've loved this, and this will be great because I'll have plenty of material to use. But will you? I'm kind of embarrassed. I blabbed on, actually. No. I told you in the very beginning that's what I wanted you to do.
Okay.
And you did exactly what I asked, and so I'm very appreciative. Hey, but let me ask you, will you do one thing for me right now? Can I hear your radio check?
Hey, I'm Kim Mitchell. You're listening to Classic Rock Q107.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. Yeah. I just wanted to hear what you sounded like back then.
Oh, I see. No, I don't do the, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's like, when they blast into that, I'm like, do you talk like that at home?
Yeah. No, you're cool because it's just, you're real, and I like that. That's just you.
So are you, man. So are you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah,
you have a great radio voice, man.
This is it right here, brother.
You got a great.
And I know you're the same way. You're a great guy, and I can't wait till next time.
All right, man. We'll see you later.
Okay, brother. Take care.
Oh, you too. Have a good one.
You too.
Barside Jive shall not be responsible for any incorrect or inaccurate information caused by this broadcast. Barside Jive does assume, however, all responsibility for the satirical nature of its content and for the occasional fictional nature of its content. All characters appearing in this broadcast, even those based on real people, except for our featured guests, of course, are entirely fictional, and any resemblance between them and any persons living dead or undead is purely a miracle.